remember how not responding in anger changed my marriage. And I'm saying that because I used to be angry, okay? If I was angry and if my husband made me upset, he was gonna know about it. And I was gonna let him know by my body language, my facial expressions, my tone of voice, and everything else that you can imagine. I was gonna let him know. He was gonna know that I was mad. But there was this one time, and I remember this because it really changed everything. He was doing something that really made me upset. And he let me know, he texted me, he's like, hey, I did this thing that you don't like me doing, right? And I remember I wrote out a giant paragraph. I'm not even lying to you because I'm a writer. I love to write. And at that point, writing, he was gonna know through my message that I was angry. So when I wrote out the message, I felt a peace of, like the peace of God came over me, and I'm not even playing. I wrote the message and I deleted the message immediately because I just let him have it. I was letting him know, like, this is not right. You need to stop, da, 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 da. This is affecting me. This can affect our family, our marriage, and everything. So I'm like, you need to stop. So I'm just letting him know. And when I felt that peace of God come over me, that like, I just couldn't do anything but delete the message. So when I did make a new message, I responded with love. I responded with peace. I responded with gentleness. And when I tell you, it was a loving message, and it was just the same length, if not longer, than a message that I had previously typed that was written full of anger. And when I say his response to that message changed everything. He came home because he was out and about at the time. He came home. He showed me so much love. He broke down because he was like, wow, Crystal, I cannot believe that you responded in this way. I was expecting you to be so mad. I was expecting you to be so angry and just let me know that you were so mad at me and that what I was doing was wrong, even though I already know that what I'm doing is wrong. And when he embraced me, I knew that that response is what he needed to hear. He didn't need to hear me being angry. He didn't need to hear how that was making me upset. He did not need to hear that what he was doing was so wrong, because he already had those convictions on himself. And even with that, like, he came home and embraced me. I know for a fact if I did not respond that way, we would not have even looked at each other. Or if we did, it would have been arguing. Like, we would have been back and forth with each other and, you know, just going back and forth and being upset. But he embraced me. I know that that response did something to him and to his heart. He didn't need all the extra rah from me because he was already dealing with that within himself. As a husband, they don't need to hear all of the things that they already know that is negative. That's where the Bible talks about like nagging. We don't need to be nagging our husbands about the things that they're doing, the things that they need to change, because for the most part, they already know about it. And I do believe that I went to God in prayer that morning before he texted me, and I already had my time with God. So go to God about the things that you need your husband to change. Go to God about the things that is angering you, that is frustrating you. Go to God and give it to him, and then he will give you his peace. And then when you go to your husband, you will give your husband the peace that God gave you. And it's just going to be like a domino reciprocating effect. Like, he's going to love you and you're going to love him. And there's going to be so much more love rather than bickering, rather than headbutting, rather than being frustrated and angry and argumentative with each other. And that is always the better response. That is always the outcome and the goal that we should be trying to achieve with our spouse. It shouldn't be, I'm the winner, you're wrong, I'm right. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be, oh, you're doing this and you're doing that. No, it should be love. It should be, we're on the same team, okay? We should be working together and attacking the enemy that's before us together, rather than me attacking you or you attacking me, okay? It's teamwork. There's one scripture that I want to leave with you guys, and it's going to solidify the whole message altogether. I don't know, I think it's in Proverbs. I believe it's in Proverbs. It should be in Proverbs. Oh my gosh. Okay, like, You see, that's how God works. I just opened my Bible to Proverbs, and the very first verse that was right there was the verse that I needed. Oh my goodness. Like, I just know that, like, God is like, he hears, he answers, and he approves of this message. Okay, the verse is Proverbs 15 verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stirs up anger. Okay, so it's actually verse 1 through 4, but I think 1 and 4 are really, really good. Okay, so I'm gonna read 1 through 4, and then I'm gonna read 1 and 4. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. Oh my gosh, like, I'm sitting here talking about this topic, didn't even remember what verse it was that I needed to share, but then I opened the Bible and it's right there. Like, I just know that this is what needs to be put out there. So yes, a soft answer turns away wrath. I gave my husband a soft response, a gentle, a loving response. And I just can remember it to this day. And I'm like, it's reminding me that, hey, I need to sometimes go back to that, because sometimes I still respond with anger. Like, of course, like, I'm human, but it's not okay, but I do need to do better. But just me making this video and then the Bible opening up where I needed it to be, that just lets me know that, hey, Crystal, you still have some work to do within yourself. Yes, I'm telling you, but I'm also telling myself, okay, I'm not perfect, and I don't want to ever look like and act like I'm perfect, because I'm not. And I want you to think about, how are you responding? Have you been responding lately with anger, with frustration, with all of these different negative feelings? And if so, hey, like, I totally get it. I said it already. Like, sometimes I still go there, but we don't want to stay there. We always want to be making improvements. We want to get better in our marriage. We want to be better as women altogether. And with that being said, that means that we have to do better with our response. How we respond really sets the tone for how everything will run and flow from that. Because if I would have responded in anger how he already expected me to respond, then what would happen? Probably the same thing. Like, yeah, he'll probably feel bad for like a couple hours or days or whatnot, but eventually he probably would have went back to doing the same thing that he was doing. And when I responded with love, the outcome was totally different. I got the outcome that I actually wanted, that I thought that I would have got if I would have responded with anger. But that's not true. When you respond with anger, you're never, for the most part, you're not gonna get you're not gonna get what you want from responding in anger. You're just gonna let off your steam. But when you respond with love, when you respond with gentleness, you're gonna receive what you are desiring to receive. Even if you're angry, you can respond with love. And when I realized how much of an impact that made, I knew that I had to do better with my response towards my husband. I knew that I could no longer go about being angry and responding in such harsh ways towards him whenever he made a mistake, because we're all humans. Everyone makes mistakes, right? Everyone makes mistakes every now and then. So it's like, why would I go to him and just remind him of the mistakes that he made? He already knows it. And so I had to realize and remember going forward that responding in love is the number one way that we should respond as wives, and that I should respond as his wife, because that is so important. How you respond matters. It matters. Like, maybe you just got in an argument, or maybe your husband just did something that you didn't like, right? And you responded in such a way that it didn't make the situation better. Just like, if you could look at it and just think and look at the bigger picture, the bigger picture, nothing changed, right? When you go back and just be very humble, be very loving, and just soft with your response, I can guarantee that that picture is going to change. That you're going to see a difference in the way that your husband responds towards you. You're going to see the things that you actually want to see. When you're angry, you think that you want like the change to be a certain way, but just being honest, and from that moment that I had, when you're angry, nothing's going to change, and that's just the honest truth. Like, we can think and hope that things will become better just because I'm so angry and this really made me upset, but that's just not the truth. The truth of the matter is, when you respond with love and with gentleness, you are able to be received in a different way, and that overall makes like everything just change for you, and for the better, for you, for your marriage, for your husband. It changes for everyone. So remember that when you are feeling a negative way, try to respond with love. Try to respond in a way that is different for even you, right? Just give it a chance, because you'll never know how much of a difference it'll make for you. So always remember that my response matters. My anger is not going to get us anywhere. It's not going to get us any further. It's not going to make us better. But when I respond with love, he's going to feel better. So overall, we're going to feel better. We're going to do better together because I'm responding with love. I hope that this video helped you, and share it with a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next video.